What's good, y'all? This is Blurred Sci-Fi Gamer here with another video. In today's video, we are going to be doing the Star Trek Armada 1 Galaxy Mod new maps tutorial. I'm going to go over the maps that are available when you download this mod. So these are maps that are not stock. They are exclusive to the download of this mod. I've broken it up into multiplayer maps. There are two of them, and then mission maps. And then these mission maps are, when you use the map units, you'll be able to reenact those Star Trek battles that we saw on TNG and Deep Space Nine. So, a lot of fun stuff to cover. Let's get to it. First map we're going to look at is Warzone. The inspiration for this map is from Star Trek Armada 2. The default multiplayer map in that game is called Warzone, and I just recreated and updated this for Star Trek Armada. So this is a really fun multiplayer map. It's 8 starting positions. We'll go ahead and put us on opposite sides here, but 8 starting positions, and it looks good. 8 starting positions. There's going to be plenty of resources, and the additional resources that you really need to wage war in this one are equidistance from the player next to you. So you see in other, if all of the starting locations are taken, each player is going to get 2 moons here. You get a 3rd moon, equidistance to each neighbor, right? There's very little as far as obstructions on this map. It's very wide open. It's also very large. So these are just going to be deep space battles. And in the center of the map, that's where you're going to have planet for faster crew, and all your infinite resources are in the center, directly equidistant from all the other starting locations. So it's very straightforward. It's a great map for multiplayer. It's large enough. You're not really going to be limited by anything, and it's wide open. So there's no natural barriers to anything. So if you like big space battles, this is your map. So same thing, we're going to leave the infinite moons off. We are going to go to the next map, which is Milky Way. Milky Way is another 8-player map. For some reason, they're all bunched up in the middle here. We're going to go to Milky Way. Same thing, I'm going to make it so that computer's neutral, just so that they don't attack me while I'm showing you guys this. And we are going to start in the center. So the concept behind Milky Way. The concept behind Milky Way is that it is supposed to be the Milky Way Galaxy Star Trek edition. So the map is going to be a microcosm of the Star Trek universe, just on where the planets are, where they are relative in the Star Trek universe. This is a large map with a lot of cool planets, so it might take a little bit longer to load, as you can see. But the Federation, this is the heart of the map, right dead set in the center. You have the Federation, you have Earth, Moon, Starbase. That's where the Federation starts. You have a few moons. In this map, you're going to have 3 moons per starting position. The only infinite moons are here, over near this planet, and this planet is Baku. So you see Baku with the rings. This is the Metreon gas nebula, very destructive. It's very hard to get through there. There are some small gaps in there if you navigate a ship to. And there's the metaphasic. So these are where the infinites are. got some wormholes over here. These wormholes lead to the Delta Quadrant. These are the Borg transwarp conduits. Transwarp conduits are not available in Star Trek Armada 1, so we had to use wormholes to make it work. But we're going to stay in the Alpha Quadrant for now. Bottom right corner here, you have Kronos. So the Klingon starting position is going to be somewhere in this vicinity. Here's Kronos. Right here, there's Kronos. The Klingons will start here with Kronos. Over here, in this corner, you have Romulus and Remus, the twin planets. This is where the Romulans start. We'll start right there. Again, you get 3 moons. And again, each race starts with 3 moons, but at roughly equidistance from the 3, you have a moon right here in the center that you can fight over. The same thing over here. And now in this corner of the map, you have Cardassia. So this planet is yellow. It's supposed to symbolize Cardassia. And then up here, you have the Bajoran. This is the Bajoran wormhole. It's supposed to symbolize the Bajoran wormhole. There's another map called a mission map called Galactic Conquest that's going to go deeper into it. It uses this same exact template, so you get to see things a little more clearly. This is Bajoran wormhole. So this quadrant here, cut off by asteroid fields, is supposed to represent the Gamma Quadrant up in the top left here. So this wormhole is going to send ships over to the Gamma Quadrant. In fact, while I'm describing it, let me go ahead and send a ship
ready
there.
And able.
And let me also send ships into the Delta Quadrant.
Engage.
So we'll send Riker to the Delta Quadrant, and we'll also send the Enterprise E over to the Delta Quadrant. So here in the Gamma Quadrant, you exit the wormhole. You find a planet over here, 3 moons, and you're going to find a planet over here, 3 moons. These are technically supposed to be on the same team, so if you were to play this species in the places they're supposed to be, both of these would be the Dominion. That's why you don't see a fight over, you don't see a moon in the center that they're going to fight over. It's because this is just so small, it would be quite limiting for the map. So now we can finally go to the Delta Quadrant here. So again, those are the wormholes that'll lead you to the Delta Quadrant. This is the large, they call this nebula, radioactive nebula. If you remember, Star Trek Voyager Endgame dived into this. There's a large nebula that they hid the transwarp portals in. So you can see Riker just
Captain
made his
Riker of
way
the Enterprise. Engage.
over to the Delta Quadrant. You have Borg planet up here, one with 3 moons, and some more Borg planets in the Delta Quadrant over here, along with plenty of moons. Yep, the Enterprise made it.
Status report. Mr. LaForge, reroute all auxiliary power to the engines.
Went ahead and made it, and
Change heading.
Creator Starship went ahead and made it to
Awaiting
the
orders.
Gamma Quadrant. So let's just go ahead. We're going to X out of this. Let's go ahead and just watch them go through the wormholes. Go.
This is Captain William T. Riker of the USS Enterprise.
Riker and the Enterprise back. Enterprise ends up over here in this nebula, and Riker ends up
Captain William T.
in this
Riker of the
nebula.
USS Enterprise.
And there you go. That is the Milky Way map. So next, after Milky Way, we are going to show you Galactic Conquest, which is basically Milky Way, but it's a mission map. And we're going to get into mission maps now. So let's go find Galactic Conquest. I'm going to take the shroud off just so you guys can see everything. And for mission maps, you're not going to want to choose standard units, you're going to want to choose map units. And map units will give you access to everything that you start with. Basically, the map units are built into the map. So you have the Federation or the Federation Alliance. The Borg over here in the Delta Quadrant, or not the Borg, let me do the Dominion, are over here near Cardassia. And the Borg over in the Delta Quadrant. And the Federation is actually the Federation Alliance. So that includes the Klingons and the Romulans. So that's the only difference between Milky Way and Galactic Conquest, is that you're going to have access to the mission map. You're going to have access to ships right from the start, and they're going to be in their respective locations. And this map has a lot of stuff on it, so it takes longer to load.
Enemy engaged.
So right away, see the Enterprise is under attack by the Sona, and you see the Cardassian and Romulan fleet is under massacre the Amarian Nebula. So they're not going to last long. In fact, I'm going to tell them to retreat. I killed a good amount of them, but we'll see if they can get back to Federation territory. Here, that's the Bajoran wormhole. You can see you have Deep Space Nine and Defiant. See, the Enterprise is on its way back to Federation. And over in the Delta Quadrant,
all sections report.
you see I have Voyager and the Delta Flyer. They need to come home, so
all
let's send them home.
Report.
See, in the Delta Quadrant, you have the Borg, the unit
Station
complex.
is under attack. Enemy
Omega
engaged.
containment facility. Here's Borg space out here. See a caravan of ships spilling in from the Gamma Quadrant, and they go past Deep Space Nine. Deep Space Nine is blind. But they're heading towards Cardassia. You see Cardassia. This is Cardassian infrastructure over here. And I don't really know how the Sona got over into Romulan space, but as you can see, Romulan space.
Station is under attack. Proceed.
Over here in Romulan space. Yes, you have access to Admiral Sela, the Romulan infrastructure over here, and you get Chancellor Martok over in Kronos. So those are the units that you start with, and if I were to start with the Borg, I would be over here with Locutus and the Borg Queen, and over in the Dominion, you're going to start with Dominion ships. And you can see over in the Gamma Quadrant, there's no real Dominion star bases, but you already have shipyards and heavily defended base over in Dominion territory. So that's Galactic Conquest. Okay? So next on our maps, we're going to go look at some 1v1 maps. So next one we're going to look at is the Battle of Sector 001. It's from Star Trek First Contact. This one is you can either play as the Federation or the Borg. I'll start with the Borg. And this is very much like, also like Twilight Hour, which is a single player, part of the single player campaign. Federation here, and again for these mission maps, you want to use map units. And I'm going to put the shroud off and leave the infinite moons off, just so you can see what's infinite and not. So here we are. You're going to start with a single cube, and you're going to get some construction ships. You have Star Trek First Contact. You have a bunch of Steam Runner and Akira ships, Akira class vessels. These are the ones that swarm the cube. You have the Defiant. And of course you've got some Federation defense infrastructure. And some Federation shipyards ready to defend Earth. So the Federation infrastructure is already built out. The board has a lone board cube with no Locutus and some construction ships. And your objective is, if you're the Borg, you need to wipe out the Federation, and if you're the Federation, they need to go ahead and wipe out that cube before a base gets going. So pretty straightforward. That's the Battle of Sector 001. I'm very surprised that the Federation is seemingly sending its ships all over the place instead of swarming me. But that's it. It's very much like Twilight Hour. So we'll get on to the next map. We're going to do the first Battle of Deep Space Nine next. So if you guys remember, this is from the Deep Space Nine episode, Way of the Warrior. So I'm going to take the part of the Federation, and we'll have the computer. It's going to be Alpha Alliance, and for the Alpha Alliance, you're going to want, if you're playing with the Klingons or playing against the Klingons, you're going to want the Alpha Alliance to have some sort of Klingon faction in it to accurately simulate this battle. We're going to go to Map Units. See, there's the wormhole. I'll show you guys what this one looks like. Pretty cool. It's a small map, 2-player. So again, this is a mission map. So as we start here, you see Gul Dukat. This is Gul Dukat under attack. You can try to rescue him with the Defiant. As you can see, the Klingon fleet is already moving on Deep Space Nine. A huge, huge Klingon fleet. Lots of bird of preys. Lots of Vorcha class, and they're heading towards you. Actually, looks like they're heading towards the wormhole, which they might do.
Alert the crew.
And here's the reinforcements led by the Venture that came late. That came at the end of the episode.
Alert
so we'll
the
set them here. You start with no construction ships. You actually start with a Cardassian construction ship. The idea here is if you actually do rescue Dukat, you can build up Cardassian infrastructure. Here come our reinforcements. Obviously the Miranda. And surprisingly, it looks like they are just... Most of them are... And you see that the Klingons are also going to start with, obviously, enough construction ships and freighters to actually wage an extended campaign, because the name of this game is Star Trek Armada, and it's not just about the initial mission. Because here they go. Now, what the Klingons are after in this wormhole, in the wormhole in this map, is what waits for you in the in the Gamma Quadrant if you go through, is obviously a massive Dominion fleet. Lots of Dominion ships are waiting for you, along with Dominion shipyards. They're not going to build anything. They're just here if you want to just for extra fun, if you want to go into the Gamma Quadrant and blow some shit up, you can do that. And they're mainly mining this moon just because if you do decide that if you're not playing on infinite resources and you go run through all of them, you can always go in and take that infinite moon. So that's that battle. You can play with either the Klingons or the Federation. They're not going to do anything. unless their AI is on the Klingon build list, they're not going to build anything. So again, you got to make sure that their AI is going to say, you got to make sure that the build list is accurate to the Klingons. And I'm going to show you guys how to do that in the next video. This is supposed to be Bajor here. So there you go. Okay, so we can move on to the next map. For the next map, we're going to go right back to Deep Space Nine. But for this one, we're going to do Operation Return, which is the epic battle that you see in Sacrifice of Angels, the Star Trek Deep Space Nine episode Sacrifice of Angels. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. The battle scenes are at least amazing in that one. So this one, the Federation is taking back Deep Space Nine. So you're going to do the Dominion and the Federation, and again, make sure it's on map units because this is a mission map. So you see, you start with a lot of units here. Okay, so as you can see, Operation Return, you start off with Starbase 375 and a massive contingent of Federation ships.
All hands to battle stations.
A lot of Galaxy class. So you got the
Battle
Defiant,
stations.
you have your Galaxy Winds,
Alert the crew.
Magellan, Venture,
Alert the
Galaxy. And you also have a really, to play this, you should probably get your
Battle station.
Station is under attack.
Klingon run, I'll make it. Yep, so you start with a battle. Wow, the Klingon construction ship survived. But yes, you start with a...
A battle has begun.
What ship did I leave? Oh, okay. So yeah, you start with a large contingent of Federation and Klingon ships. We succeeded in killing a lot of the initial Dominion fleet, but you're trying to get to Deep Space Nine, which is Terok Nor. There's Bajor. So it's basically the same map, but in reverse. And if you want to take it a step further and really rid the galaxy, the Dominion also starts off with reinforcement potential in the wormhole. Those 4 shipyards are against you, and they have a unlimited dilithium moon already mining at full capacity, in addition to everything that's going on in the Alpha Quadrant here. So that's your challenging task, is to wipe out the Dominion using this strong initial contingent.
All sections report.
And I must say, the Federation core ships held up pretty well in that initial assault. Shout out to the Galaxy, Nebula, and Akira class ships. Them some dogs. But yes, that is Operation Return, the second battle of Deep Space Nine, seen in Sacrifice of Angels. And there's that Bajoran wormhole right there. Okay? So the final mission map that is available with this mod is the final battle in Deep Space Nine, the Battle of Cardassia, which is going to be very similar to the last map we just shown, but even greater of a scale and even more difficult. So again, always make sure that that's on map units for these mission maps. And we're going to start with the Federation Alliance. we're going to be fighting the Dominion. So very similar map structure to the Earth one, but you're going to be going towards Cardassia. The Dominion infrastructure is already full and they have a huge contingent of ships, a lot of resources, and you basically start off with a giant fleet and a bunch of construction ships. So it's pretty challenging. You get no help from allies, and it should be a fun battle. So right away you see you have Martok, the Admiral, I'm forgetting his name at the moment, but the Admiral that Cisco is reporting to, you have Captain Cisco, and you have a large contingent of Romulan, Federation, and Klingon forces, as well as the Cardassians that turned against the Dominion. So they're also on your side. So you can consolidate them all. You have construction ships for all races,
Alert the crew.
The initial fleet held up pretty well. I am not sure if any Federation construction ships survived, but the Romulans and Klingons certainly survived here. Yes, the Federation construction ships did survive. So you can go ahead and build an outpost and you can get started. But yeah, there you go.
All sections
In fact, it's good to see that the major ships for each race, the Romulan Warbirds, Martok, the Akira class, the Galaxy class, they all survived.
Be ready for anything.
And even Admiral,
Engines to full.
was it Admiral Ross survived? But it looked like the Defiant didn't. So, it's a fun first battle, but you want to see what you're up against. Lots of turrets you have to break through, lots of shipyards.
Be ready for anything.
Cardassians have lots of shipyards, lots of orbital weapons platforms, multiple star bases that you have to break through, and Dominion shipyards. And they already have a head start in mining everything. So you see this is an infinite moon, but it's in a terrible location. But they've got a head start on mining. Not even using those, but yeah, they have a head start on mining. They have a ridiculous amount of resources. They already have fully built up infrastructure. You better get to work. The only thing working in the favor of the Federation player here is just that they start with a large contingent of ships. So I hope you guys enjoy this one.
Alert the crew.
Hope you guys enjoyed the battle, the
All sections
brief skirmish we got. Seeing all these wonderful ships go at it. And one other thing to note while I have all these ships close to each other is this mod does put the vessels to scale.
Engines.
So you see the Warbird is considerably larger than a Galaxy class starship. So I did my best to make all the ships a lot more to scale. The Akira class is a little bigger than stock. I think the stock version is too small. The Akira is supposed to be 2/3 the size of a Galaxy class, roughly. So there you have it. Okay, get out of here. Okay guys, so those are the new maps that are added to the game when you download and play the Star Trek Armada 1 Galaxy Mod. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please go out and have fun with these maps, enjoy them, use them, their missions and multiplayer, and Please go ahead and like the video, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.